A user's password was just compromised. Would you know? In this video, we look at how Entra ID can help secure user accounts. Every day, millions of credentials get stolen through phishing attacks, data breaches, and password leaks. And in most cases, the person who lost them finds out the hard way, like when they look at their bank account. The good news is a fix exists. It's built into Microsoft 365, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to turn it on. Hey everyone, I'm Travis and welcome back to the channel. This is the first part of a series that will cover some powerful security tools available in Microsoft Entra ID, multi-factor authentication, and conditional access policies. This series is designed for IT pros who are just getting started with these features. No prior experience is required. We're starting from the ground up. In this video, we're going to talk about why passwords alone are not enough, how identity-based attacks actually work, and then jump into the Entra ID portal to see what all of that looks like in real life. Before we jump in, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with a friend or colleague. That really helps this channel grow. Also, check out my courses. The links are below. And a big shout out to all my channel members. Your support is appreciated. All right, let's get back into it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Passwords are broken, not because they're a bad idea, but because of how they're actually used in the real world. People reuse them across accounts. They choose ones that are easy to guess. They fall for phishing pages that look exactly like the real thing. And every time a website gets breached, those credentials get posted online for hackers to use. And it's not all the end user's fault. Most organizations enforce password requirements that make it hard for users to remember, but easy for computers to guess. Microsoft blocks over 7,000 password attacks every single second. That's more than double what it was 2 years before. So the question isn't whether your organization will be targeted, it's whether your accounts are protected when it happens. Let's talk about the 3 most common ways attackers steal credentials, because this will make a lot more sense once you start building policies in upcoming videos. The first is phishing. You've all seen this. An attacker sends a convincing email that looks like it's from Microsoft, a bank, or the IT team. The user clicks the link, types in their username and password, and now the sender has it. Simple, effective, and people still fall for it. The second is password spray. Instead of hammering one account with thousands of password attempts, which get blocked pretty quickly, attackers will try one common password against thousands of different accounts. Something like summer 2006 ! Or welcome one. Most accounts won't match, but enough will. And because each account only sees one failed attempt, traditional lockout policies don't catch it. The third is credential stuffing. If your email and password were ever in a data breach, there's a good chance they're sitting in a database somewhere right now. Attackers take that list and try it against Microsoft 365, Azure, and hundreds of other services. If the password was reused anywhere, they're in. Here's why multi-factor authentication is so important. Even if the attacker has your password, they can't get in without the second factor. The second factor might be a push notification to your phone, a code from an Authenticator app, or a physical security key. They can have your password and still never get access to the account. According to Microsoft, enabling MFA blocks over 99% of account compromise attacks. That's not a small improvement. That's transformational. It's the single biggest thing you can do to protect your users. You've probably heard the term zero trust thrown around a lot. It sounds complicated, but the core idea is pretty straightforward. In the old model of IT security, we focused on protecting the network perimeter. If you were inside the corporate network, you were trusted. If you were outside, you weren't. Internal networks and firewalls set the boundary, and VPNs were used for remote access. Here's the problem. That model doesn't work anymore. Users are working from all types of remote locations like home, coffee shops, airports, and working on devices the company may not even own or manage. Applications aren't even inside the perimeter anymore. They live in the cloud. Data moves everywhere. There's no perimeter to protect. So the new model flips that thinking. Instead of trusting the network, we verify every single sign-in. Who's the user? Are they on a trusted device? Where are they signing in from? Is this normal behavior for that user? Decisions are made every time based on factors like that. That's what conditional access is. It's the engine that evaluates every sign-in against a set of rules we define. We're going to dig into that deeper in upcoming videos, but first, let me show you where all of this lives in the Azure portal. Here we are in the Azure portal. We're going to start by navigating to Microsoft Entra ID. This is where all the identity and access management lives within the Azure portal. You can also get to the Entra portal by going to entra.microsoft.com. In the Azure portal, select Microsoft Entra ID from the left navigation or search for it in the top bar. This is your identity control plane. Everything we're going to do in regards to Entra ID identities and security lives somewhere in here. From the overview blade, we can get key stats such as the number of users, tenant name, and tenant ID. Let's start by looking at sign-in logs because this is where you can actually see authentication attempts happen in near real time. From monitoring, select sign-in logs. This may take a few seconds to load. From here, we can open a recent successful sign-in event and view key fields like user, application, IP address, location, and status. We can also filter the view to show only failures, for example. If we open a failed event, we'll see the failure reason and the IP address and location data. It will also show device information and authentication details. This log includes interactive logins. That's a typical user sign-in event. We also have user sign-ins non-interactive. This happens when Entra recognizes a user's token needs to be refreshed and does it for them. A service principal sign-in doesn't involve users. This is a sign-in by a non-user account, such as an app or service principal. And this example doesn't have any over the last 24 hours. We can also see sign-ins from managed identities. Managed identities are resources with secrets managed by Azure. For example, a virtual machine could use a managed identity to add or read files from a storage account. That activity is logged under sign-in logs for managed identities. And here again, there's no example in the last 24 hours. You can see exactly where every sign-in attempt is coming from, what app they're trying to access, what device they're using, and whether it succeeded or failed. This is incredibly useful for spotting suspicious activities and for troubleshooting policy issues. Now let's look at something called Identity Security Score. This gives a baseline measurement of how well a tenant is configured from a security standpoint. Let's go to Manage and open the Security panel. Then Manage and select Identity Security Score. This shows a current score and the score breakdown chart. If it's not already configured, requiring MFA for administrators is almost always near the top of the list. We can click on one of the improvement actions to see the detail of what steps are recommended. Do not expire passwords is a high priority recommendation. This is interesting because Microsoft's research found that periodic password resets can make passwords less secure. Users will pick weaker passwords and vary it slightly at each reset. It goes on to say that a strong password will remain strong in the future. This is interesting because it goes against a lot of common password management practices. Think of this as a security report card. It tells us what Microsoft recommends for the tenant and how far along we are at implementing them. We'll see this score go up as we implement conditional access policies. We may never get a perfect score. The goal is to continuously improve it. Now let's talk about security defaults. This is the simplest way to get MFA turned on across your organization, and it's Microsoft's baseline recommendations for tenants that aren't ready to build custom conditional access policies yet. Go to Properties and Entra ID, scroll to the bottom, and select Manage Security Defaults. This option may not be available if you already have conditional access policies enabled. The only option is to turn it off or on. When it's on, it includes Enforce MFA Registration for all users, MFA enforcement for administrators on every sign-in, and it blocks legacy authentication protocols. If you're not using conditional access and this is not enabled, you can toggle it on and hit save. Of course, be aware this will impact end users, so communicate the change to your organization as needed. Once you hit save, you'll get a confirmation message. I can't show you that because it's enabled on this tenant already. Once security defaults are enabled, users will get a prompt to register for MFA the next time they sign in. Let's see what that registration experience looks like from the end user's perspective. We'll start by navigating to aka.ms/MFA setup. I'm using a private window so the credentials don't conflict. This is the same experience the user will see when they log in for the first time with security defaults enabled and without MFA setup. We'll sign in as the user, enter the username and password. From here, we'll walk through the prompts that appear on sign in. We'll click Next to keep the account secure. It gives us information about installing the Microsoft Authenticator app. Once we have that installed, we'll click Next. We'll click Next at setting up the account. Now it provides the QR code. This is what will enable MFA on the Authenticator app for this user. Open the Authenticator app. Click the plus sign in the top right corner. Choose Work or School Account. That gives an option to sign in or scan a QR code. Select Scan a QR code. That will use a camera to scan the code. Once it's scanned, we'll click Next at the QR code. And then we can confirm that it works. It will prompt us to enter the code on the screen into the Authenticator app. And that's it. Once we add that code, the Authenticator is added. We can click Done. And now that user is onboarded for MFA. All right, that brings us to the end of this one. In this video, we covered why passwords alone are no longer enough to protect your organization. We walked through how phishing, password spray, and credential stuffing works, and why MFA stops them cold. We introduced Zero Trust as the framework behind conditional access, and then in the demo, we explored the Entra ID Portal, looked into sign-in logs, and the identity security score, and enabled security defaults to get MFA registration rolling. Coming up, we're going to take this a bit further. We'll disable security defaults and build conditional access policies from scratch, using report-only mode to test safety before turning it on for real. Thank you for joining me in this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next.